Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to construct congruent segments using a compass and straight edge, perpendicular bisectors using a compass and straight edge, congruent angles using a compass and straight edge, and angle bisectors using a compass and straight edge. How are we learning it? Through the congruent angles notes, congruent angles assignment, and the these hands can do anything assignment. When can we use this information? To create matching sets of furniture or recreate a piece of furniture, and to cut boards into smaller equal pieces in order to create or repair furniture. How do you know you learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the congruent angles assignment and a 4 on the these hands can do anything assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. After that, we'll go over the congruent angles notes. And then I'll give you time to complete the congruent angles assignment on IXL. If you've already completed the assignment, you'll move on and work on the These Hands Can Do Anything assignment on Google Docs. And then at the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your Before You Go. Your only homework for tonight is continue working on the Transformation Study Guide and any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the congruent angles notes. The notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. Now, what is an angle? An angle is a figure formed by two line segments or rays that meet at a common point. Angles are typically measured in degrees, which are measures of rotation from the x-axis. So, an example of this would be here. We have ABC here. BC is a ray, and BA is a ray, and they meet here at point B. And it forms this kind of V shape here, which is an angle. Symbolic notation for angles. The symbolic notation for angles is angle ABC. So it's this kind of V shape here that represents angle. Then we label it as the points involved. Now, notice that the point of intersection, or where they meet, or as we call it, the vertex, always goes in the middle. So B would have to be the center of it. So an example of this would be ABC. That would be our notation for the angle. Again, B always has to be in the middle. It could also be CBA. That would work as well, as long as B is in the middle. Geometric notation for angles. Angles are shown by labeling the points on the rays and the point of intersection. So an arc is typically drawn in the middle to represent the angle measure. Congruency and similarity. Congruent angles are angles that are of the same size, shape, and angle measure. Congruent angles are written as angle ABC is congruent to angle DEF. Again, the congruent symbol is the squiggly over the equal sign. Now, similar angles have the same shape and angle measure but are of different size, so they have different lengths. And we would say that then that angle ABC is similar to angle DEF, and the symbol for similar is the double squiggly. So congruency versus similarity. Congruent figures have all the same sizes. So notice all of my triangles here, both of my triangles, have exactly the same angle measures and same side lengths. They look exactly the same. That is congruent. Now, similar means that it's blown up or shrunk down. So it's all the same size and shape. It's proportional, but it's not the same size. It blows up or shrinks down. So we can see that this triangle here is this one blown up. Geometric notation for congruent angles. Angles are typically drawn by labeling the points on the rays and the point of intersection. Congruent angles will have the arcs in the corner. So for instance, we have these two triangles here, and notice we have these arcs here in the corners. The single arc and the single arc mean that those two angles are congruent to each other. The double arc and double arc mean that those two angles are congruent to each other. And then the triple and triple mean that those are congruent. Now there's a video here for you to watch on how to construct congruent angles using Desmos. So go ahead and watch that video now. Let's take a look now at how we can construct congruent angles using Desmos. So we're given our angle here. First thing we need to do is create our pop-out menu. So now we have our tools, and we need to create a baseline that represents the same line as this one. So we use our ray tool and just create a baseline, just like that. Now, we need to find a way to create this line here. So the first way we do that is we're going to use the circle tool and go about this point just like this. And we can make this as big as we want or as small as we want. Smaller is usually better, so we'll go ahead and do that. So there's my circle. And now I need to copy this circle up to here. Well, we need a radius to be able to use our compass to copy it. So we need to create our radius first. So we use the segment tool and connect this point and this point. That gives us our radius. Now we can use our compass. So we go to More Tools, Compass, and we can click on this segment we just created. That's my radius. Notice if I place it over the top of this one, the circles completely overlap. So they're the same size circle. So we bring that up and place it here. And then we're going to put a point where the circle intersected our segment. So just like that. So now we have this point, this circle. Now we just need to create a point here that matches. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to create a radius using the segment tool from this point of intersection up to this point of intersection here. So there's my segment. Now we just need to copy that segment up to here. So we're going to use our compass again. So we go to More Tools, Compass, and we click on that. And now we're going to bring that up and place it right here at the intersection. And we know that this is the other point of intersection here. So it intersects both of them. So now that would be my point that I'm going to draw through. So I put a point here where they intersect. And then use my ray tool to connect this point through that point. And now this angle has the exact same measure as this one here. Now there's a video here as well for you to watch on how to construct congruent angles using paper and a compass. So go ahead and watch that video as well.
How to copy an angle using a safety compass. First, have an angle. Next, go ahead and use your safety compass and create a ray that will act as one of the sides for your angle. Right here, I've created basically one of the sides for my angle. Next, we have to figure out how big this gap is so that we can recreate it down here. The first move, go ahead and line up the brass ring on your safety compass with the vertex, or the corner here, of your angle. Then, make an arc all the way through your angle using any mark along the compass that you would like. I'm going to use this one right here next to a bold line. That way I can keep track of which one I use. Next, go ahead and come down to your new ray and recreate that movement using the same hole. Come down here. Again, same hole, same line for me. I've recreated that arc down here. Might look a little bit bigger, but that's because I went a little bit further around. Now, to figure out how big this gap is, use your safety compass, line up one of those points where it crisscrossed, come over here and line up the other point that crisscrosses. Looks like I might end up using the white inside part. Yep, right there. The very outside edge. Come down here, recreate the movement. Brass ring on the part that hits, just like I did up there. Again, use whichever hole that you used. For me, it was in here. For you guys, it might have been out here somewhere. Right, like that. So far, our two arcs are exactly the same. Which means, if I connect the vertex through that point, just like it is up here, I'll have recreated that exact same angle right down here. So go ahead and do that. Connect the vertex with the point where our two arcs intersected. And this angle is exactly the same as that. And that's how you copy an angle.
Let's talk now about how to access your assignments on IXL using SBLink. So what you'll do is you'll click on the link that takes you to your SBLink, which should look like this, and you're going to log in the same way you would log into your computer. So the first part for your username is going to be the first part of your email address without the @sbcusd.ca.us. So it should be your last name, first initial, middle initial, and then the last 4 of your student ID. Then for your password, it's the same password you use to log into your Chromebook. From there, you'll go ahead and click Sign In. And it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. You're going to go find the link that says IXL, which is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that link. And it should take me to the IXL login page. So it should look like this. At the top right corner, it should say welcome and then your name. If it does not say your name, then you're not logged in and you won't receive credit for your work. As long as this is good, you can go ahead and close that tab out. And then you can go to your Google Classroom. And then you'll go and find the activity, which is here. And I'm going to click on the IXL link right here. And this will take me to the assignment that I need to complete. So that's how you log into your assignments on IXL using SBLink. Let's take a look now at the Congruent Angles assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here to take you to SBLink. This will allow you to access the IXL activity for today. So go ahead and log in, and then once you're logged in, return to this page and click on this link to access your IXL activity. And it should take you to a page that looks like this. It says the diagram below shows a nearly completed construction. So let's take a look. So we're trying to create a congruent angle, and we need to figure out what we need to do here. So we can see that we have our circle, and we have this distance copied, and it's copied here as well. The only thing we need to do now is connect the dots. So we're going to use our ray tool and connect D with H right through there and hit submit. It tells us we got it right and sends us on to the next one. So again, partially completed. So now we have A here, and we need to draw in our next part here. So we're going to go ahead and finish this. So we need a circle that goes through here like this with that radius. So there's that one. Now we need to copy it over to here where it intersects. So we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to use a circle from here to here. So again, that's the same size circle. And this time we're going to drag it and place it here at G. And put a point where it intersects. Now we just use our ray tool to connect. So it goes from this point to this point. We hit submit. Tells us we got it right. Notice my SMART score continues to go up. And we're going to continue to work at this until we get a SMART score of 80. Once you get a SMART score of 80, you can go ahead and go back to your Google form and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and submit your work on Google Classroom.